Hello, we're very excited to be joining you July 26th. But we should set the table correctly. We're mostly gonna make enemies with Disney. And make a lot of jokes at Hugh's expense.
Come again.
So sit back, relax, while we travel to a place where grown men and women walk around in tights and act like it's not a giant cultural cry for help.
Oh!
Because this is cinema.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Ryan Reynolds just released a new Deadpool and Wolverine trailer for the first of a couple special popcorn buckets they're making, as lewd as you would expect it to be. His quote when he posted this referenced 2024 as the Great Popcorn Bucket Wars. We'll see if Deadpool winds up winning the Popcorn Bucket Wars, because it will be hard to beat Dune's Popcorn Bucket. But it looks so raunchy, it does seem like it's going to give it a run for its money. No judgment about what you wind up doing with that popcorn bucket. If I can find a way to give some of these away, I will do it. But if you've never bought one of these novelty popcorn buckets like this, like the real special ones, there have been a few famous ones this year already. 2024 is like the year of the weird popcorn bucket. Typically, you buy these at individual theaters when you go to actually see a movie. You have to ask them special when you're buying popcorn or snacks, like I'd like to buy one of the special popcorn buckets. They'll probably start going on sale a little bit before the movie actually comes out, but they're mostly meant to be on sale while the movie is actually in theaters, so good luck getting one. We are doing a ticket giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and post your favorite popcorn bucket so far, or let me know what you want the Deadpool version of this popcorn bucket to be. Speaking of which, there was another promo that Regal theater chain released for their Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn bucket for a totally different character on their popcorn bucket.
Regal is proud to introduce our first ever combination drink and popcorn collectible container featuring a character from Deadpool.
They included a joke about the TVA pruning them to prevent spoilers for who the popcorn bucket is actually for, like which character, but I think we know who it is. And it is a Deadpool version, like there's a Wolverine version that Ryan Reynolds revealed. There's a version that's the Deadpool character. But I think it's actually meant to be for baby Deadpool and not the main Ryan Reynolds Deadpool in the movie. And that's why the Regal promo doesn't actually show you the character, because we haven't seen baby Deadpool in an actual trailer yet. The only Deadpool variant that we've seen so far that we know of is Dogpool. They are doing the Deadpool core during the movie, and there'll be more Deadpool variants than there are, say, like Wolverine variants or variants of other characters like X-Men characters, Fantastic Four, Punisher characters. But according to this promo, this is what baby Deadpool is going to look like. This is an official promo for the movie, so we know that baby Deadpool will show up at some point. I think the idea with this popcorn bucket is the actual chair itself opens up, holds the popcorn here, and baby Deadpool is the person sitting in the chair. Like, that's why they rotate it around. Some people thought that it might be Professor X because of the chair, but no, I think it's meant to be baby Deadpool. Different theater chains typically sell their own different popcorn buckets. Sometimes it's the same, but usually, as is the case with Regal, for instance, releasing their own promo for one, this baby Deadpool one is probably only available at Regal theaters.
What's the state of the Deadpool popcorn bucket?
Oh, I've been working on that today, actually, but you just wait. You just wait, Jacob. And Jacobs.
Ryan Reynolds did not reveal where they're actually selling the Wolverine popcorn bucket. My assumption is it'll be AMC inside the United States, maybe another really big theater chain internationally, at least a couple countries, but it might not be available in every single country. If you do really want one and they don't have any in the theaters near you, or you miss out on the chance to get one while the movie is in theaters, or it doesn't come to your country, you can always get one on eBay after the fact, but it's typically with a really jacked up price. So you have to really, really want one of them if you want to pay that much money for it. Notice on the popcorn bucket it says designed by Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Feige separately joked about this, about what a big deal it was going to be after the Dune popcorn bucket hype. And Kevin Feige specifically said that they would have one that's even crazier than the Dune one, and it would be designed by Deadpool himself. He was not joking.
Having the best picture and the best sound. I love the popcorn buckets that are taking over the world. I really do. I love when a popcorn bucket can capture the zeitgeist and go viral.
And because of the whole lewd nature of the bucket itself, like the way he's using the butter, like the whole gag here is meant to flow with Deadpool's obsession with Wolverine in the context of the movie. They've kind of been hyping that up in a lot of the marketing, like the non-trailer promos, but it's also going on in the actual trailers, in the actual movie itself too. Like Deadpool himself is low-grade obsessed, maybe not low-grade, maybe high-grade obsessed with Wolverine. That's why they have the Deadpool and Wolverine friendship bracelet that they're selling in claw machines, which you can actually apparently find in some theater chains. I haven't seen them in the wild yet, but also all those sex jokes in all the trailers. The whole reason in the movie, though, that Deadpool searches for Wolverine is because he believes he's the greatest X-Men or X-Man, singular, who ever lived. Even though there are physically more powerful characters like Jean Grey in her Phoenix form, Professor X, Magneto, Storm, other Omega-level mutants that he could pick from. In real life, Wolverine has consistently been voted as the greatest member of the X-Men in that he is the most iconic, most legendary. Which he also calls out in the trailer when he's yelling about his trauma, like, you were the X-Man. That's why Deadpool idealizes him, because you have to remember that Deadpool is meant to come from the main X-Men universe. They kind of tied them together during Deadpool 2. I know there's the Colossus issue, like why does Colossus look different in the Deadpool movies from the original X-Men movies? Because it's a different actor, they do different special effects. Like it's mostly motion capture during the Deadpool movies, but you actually see the actor himself during the original X-Men movies. There are a couple ways to explain that away, but the actual producers themselves, like the people that actually make these movies, Kevin Feige himself, have confirmed that Deadpool is from that main X-Men universe, that main X-Men timeline. That was why in the very first Deadpool movie, in like the opening scene when he's sitting on the bridge, he references Wolverine.
Whose balls did I have to fondle to get my very own movie? I can't tell you, but it does rhyme with pulverine.
Because he's from that universe and he's seen all the things that Wolverine the X-Men have done, so he's known about him for a long time. Some of the other funny jokes that they'll get into in this movie, and they also got into way back in the first Deadpool movie, is the idea that they canonize the actual actor Hugh Jackman, like himself, to the X-Men universe. So like I said, Deadpool takes place in that X-Men universe where all of Hugh Jackman's X-Men movies took place. But at the end of the first Deadpool movie, he uses Hugh Jackman's picture from his Sexiest Man People cover. Like, that was also part of the joke, too, because Ryan Reynolds had been voted Sexiest Man and put on People's cover, so they were both sort of competing for who the sexiest man was. But now inside that main X-Men universe, you have the Wolverine character who looks like Hugh Jackman and the Hugh Jackman actor who exists separately. Like, they're completely separate characters that just look alike. We call that the Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury, Mace Windu problem. This is also one of the reasons why Ryan Reynolds is directly calling out Hugh Jackman in the trailer, saying that they clown on him a lot, in addition to himself, Kevin Feige, Disney, pretty much everybody. Because during the movie, they'll make jokes about the Wolverine character, like they'll clown on Wolverine as a character, but also on Hugh Jackman himself in real life. I don't ever expect them to address this in the normal Marvel movies inside the MCU, just because any non-Deadpool movie just doesn't get that meta. This is all very much in the tone of a Deadpool movie, but regular MCU movies tend to play things in a more straight-up kind of way. So I don't ever expect to see Spider-Man asking Nick Fury why he looks mysteriously like that Mace Windu character, because we know that Spider-Man has seen the prequels. Way back when Captain America Civil War came out and he made that reference to Empire Strikes Back, the Russo brothers got so many questions about that too. They just kind of waffled a little bit like, it looks kind of like Mace Windu guy. Like, they're not the same guy, they just look alike. Probably my favorite meta so far from all the Deadpool and Wolverine trailers is him clowning on the fact that he's Marvel Jesus and he's going to save the MCU and he's going to reboot the MCU, like he's going to save it by rebooting it, essentially. They even put that in the first teaser trailer. It was one of the first big jokes that they made. And I think they actually went full South Park with this, in the fact that South Park makes its episodes so quickly that they can clown on really recent jokes, like very topical things that happened very recently. So part of the idea is that Deadpool is clowning on the MCU in general just because they've had a really rough couple of years since Avengers Endgame, like Marvel Phase 4, Marvel Phase 5, a lot of things, just disappointed movies, TV shows. So it's time for something fresh. Something has to happen, and that something is ... Deadpool. That's why he thinks of himself as Marvel Jesus, like, I'm going to save the MCU by rebooting it. But in the larger context, for those of you actually wondering about this big Marvel reboot that's being talked about behind the scenes, like in actuality, it's not going to happen until after Secret Wars, which is still like 4 or 5 years away at this point from being done. When Deadpool mentions changing the cinematic universe in the trailer, that's just meant to be the beginning, like, oh, we plan on doing this eventually, sort of calling their shot Babe Ruth style. Right now, if you haven't seen it, there is a rumor that Secret Wars will also wind up turning into 2 movies, and Avengers 5 is no longer like a big multiverse film, it'll be more ground-level stuff. So if we get Avengers 5 in 2026, when it's currently supposed to be released, unless there are more delays, Avengers Secret Wars couldn't start till at least 2027. If it really winds up being 2 movies, or one of them gets pushed another year, we wouldn't see this actual MCU reboot until like 2028, 2029. Some of you will be done with school by then, some of you might even have your own children, and you can sit them down and tell them about the great popcorn bucket wars of 2024. Sit down and I shall tell you a tale. A tale of the lewdest popcorn bucket that you have ever seen in your entire life. This is just the beginning, though. Like, the Deadpool and Wolverine press tour has just started, so do not be surprised if Ryan Reynolds literally and metaphorically whips out a bunch more surprises in the next month or so. There are a couple of the really big cameo scenes that we've already learned about, too. Really big reminder, too, in the next couple weeks, I'll be doing episode videos for House of the Dragon Season 2, The Boys Season 4, and Acolyte. Even beyond all the Deadpool and Wolverine hype, it will be crazy. Be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss any of those. Click here for that Deadpool and Wolverine clip of him versus Miss Minutes in The Watcher, and click here for my Moon Knight Season 2 video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.